This video is for business leaders who want to make the best possible business decisions by using both EQ and IQ. This episode is specifically around maximizing EQ and IQ, and both of them are in fact dependent on the slow thinking system 2, your prefrontal cortex, which is normally being overridden or automatically run over by your evolutionary default, your emotional system 1. And if you let it run the show, your EQ and your IQ will both be compromised. Excuse the slumber there. Okay, so stick around to the end to get a great bonus technique for making the most of both types of intelligence to maximize your success. The debate among academics as to whether EQ or IQ is the best predictor of success, or which of the two is the best predictor of success is more accurate, and more important but less attended to, whether either causes success. I did a video a while ago called Emotion is Faster Than Reason. I'll put a link right there to that, which explained why that's true, that emotions are faster than reason, and how it helped your ancestors survive and pass that trait on to you. Because of that, your decisions are dominated by emotional biases, as described by Daniel Kahneman in his book on behavioral economics called Thinking Fast and Slow. If you haven't read it, it's not a light read, but it's a great book and certainly worthy of listening to or reading. It was the book, or the work behind the book was actually what caused him to win the Nobel Prize. So needless to say, it was some pretty groundbreaking stuff in its time, and it's the basis of what I'm talking about today. So the problem is that if we let our evolutionary default, our emotions dominate our thinking, it can lead to poor judgments, even in slightly more complex decisions that need slow thinking system 2 to help make more accurate decisions. I'm going to give you a question, see if you can answer this. You have $1.10 to buy a toy bat and a plastic ball. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? Okay, if you answered 10 cents, you're wrong, and you use your emotional, intuitive, fast thinking system 1 to answer that question. Don't feel bad, I got it wrong too. Most people do. But if you said the ball costs 5 cents, you used your slow thinking, logical, and effortful system 2 to arrive at the right or correct answer. The total cost is $1.10, but the bat is $1 more than the ball, not $1. So that means the bat costs $1.05 and the ball costs 5 cents. So 5 cents plus $1.05, $1 more than 5 cents, equals $1.10. Most people get this wrong, no matter how intelligent they are, because it's not really about your IQ. It's more about and it's not even about your EQ. That has nothing to do with it. It is about whether you use the fast thinking, intuitive, emotional system, which is great at making snap judgments that most of the time are good, but can often, as you can see, even a small amount of complexity can mess us up if we trust it too much. So that's the way that thing goes. So the next one is, how can you prevent this? How can you prevent these kind of always trust your gut mistakes? Actually, it's really pretty simple. That doesn't mean you will necessarily be able to do it when you need to, but the actual technique is very, very simple, and that is trust but verify. Or another way to think of this is take your math teacher's advice and check your work. You can make your snap decision if you want, that's cool. But then make sure that snap decision is in fact correct, as in the example that I gave. Slow down and either write out your reasoning, for this math example, you could write that out, but anything, you either write it out or go through it intentionally and step by step in your head to verify that that snap judgment is correct. You will be shocked how often it's wrong. But if you really want to make decisions that are, that shouldn't be a complex math problem, and it really isn't. But most people instantly say, oh, the ball's 10 cents. Well, if the ball was 10 cents, then it's 95 cents more. The bat is 95 cents more expensive, which is incorrect. Oh. Yeah, I did it wrong too. I just made the same mistake I was talking about. The total is $1.10. In any case, perfect example. Stopped, checked, realized I made a mistake. In business and life, things are rarely so simple. So I hope I've convinced you that adding some slow, effortful logic to your business decisions is a superior recipe than always trusting your gut, which is only good in certain specific limited situations I won't discuss today. So congratulations, you've already made it to the bonus round, or rather the bonus material. So checking your work is easy to do, but hard to remember, especially if a decision or discussion is emotionally charged. Remember, this is what normally happens. This is where the term amygdala hijack comes from, but it's overused and misused. Amygdala hijack means you're incapable. You are so emotional that you're incapable of sort of wresting from that emotion your logic and doing that. So it's really a continuum, but emotional hijack or amygdala hijack as it's used is almost always wrong because it's the extreme end of the scale. And most people just use it because they don't really understand it, to put it in simple, honest terms. So remember that everybody runs on emotional autopilot most of the time, all day long. I did a quick internet search before I actually did this video to make sure I had a number right. And according to strange but true, 95% of brain activity is unconscious. So that means we're talking about system 1. Okay, and I hope I have that right by saying that all of that, but intuitive, unconscious, should be okay to be able to say that. Not like I have Daniel Kahneman's phone number to check, but that made sense, having everything on autopilot, and in other words, our emotions and our intuitions unconsciously running everything. That made sense when the fear that caused you to freeze, fight, or flee when you heard a bear growling behind you was far more likely to save your life than trying to use logic to talk the bear out of eating you. Okay? But nowadays, having a ready plan to shift from emotional autopilot to mindful conscious pilot is a real advantage in business and in life, and all aspects of our lives not involving immediate fatality. Okay, because most of our life isn't that immediate fatality kind of situation. So here's the plan. Breathe in, breathe out. Once, twice, thrice. Anytime your emotional autopilot starts to take over. Or just count to 10, then proceed. Yep, that's the same advice your kindergarten teacher gave you to prevent you from losing your temper. And it really does work, because what it does is it allows your emotions, which are faster, it allows your system 2 to catch up to your emotions so that you can add reason and logic back into your thinking. It buys your slow thinking system 2 time to catch up to your emotions so that you can add logic to those decisions. If you got value from this content, please share the love by sharing this video. This has been Crush It Club 195, not EQ or IQ, but both. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.